Well, this is the video that probably most of you boys and girls have actually been looking forward to seeing, is Burn Barrel. I must get a question once a week. Where's Burn Barrel? What have you done to Burn Barrel? We want to see Burn Barrel. Well, guess what? It's still live. It doesn't go by the name Burn Barrel, and it has obscene drawings on the side doors. This car here is probably one of the most famous cars that I actually built on this YouTube channel, and it was one that I built when I only had about 2,000 subscribers, and I think it actually helped me get my subscriber count up quite a bit because you guys really like this car. I did a half-decent build series on it where I took the body off the frame, I put a little bit of tilt into it, that kind of stuff, a little bit of magic, a little bit of oomph. Built a custom cradle to hold the Chevy motor inside the Ford body. Stuff like that. I built my own steering column. Just pretty much everything I built for it is just a little bit different, and not a whole lot of it is allowed around me. So this car is actually pretty limited to where it can run. Because it's got a 9-inch in the back, it's kind of limited because it's not the factory 8.8. Because it's got steel spindle swaps in the front, it actually limits where it can run as well. Because the bumper shocks are gone, that is different rules for me as well. And because it's got a Chevy in it, that puts into different rules. There is so many things that this car kind of changes and does a little bit differently. There is a company by me. It's called Impact Motorsports. It's one of the bigger companies here in Ontario. They have the most strict rules for 03 and newers, and because they are so tough. If I wanted to run this at an Impact Motorsports show, which I have ran 03 and newers at Impact. I cannot change rear end, I cannot change trailing arms, I cannot get rid of aluminum spindles, I cannot get rid of factory bumper shocks. If I put a bumper on, I have to keep the factory bumper shocks. I have to keep the factory 4.6. I can't have a passenger door bar. It's heavily enforced against these 03 and newers because they're so tough. And this car here has actually been ran, I think, about 5 or 6 times now. And it is actually pretty stock. There's no plates on it, no nothing. And as you can see, it's actually starting to bend. So this side here, not so much. This side here is pretty straight still. 03 and newers are known to keep the straight front ends as pretty good on this. But the passenger side, you can see how much this 74 Oldsmobile bumper has actually been folded back around. And you can kind of see the frame rail start kind of folding on itself. So I'll probably be putting a plate on that. Now, the main issue with this one is basically the front end. The springs and the struts in this have all broken, so I'm going to be trying to get this thing just a little bit taller in the front end. And I've been pretty much given the go-ahead to spend a little bit of money by the guy that now owns it now. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting new tires on the front to give it a little bit extra height. We're probably going to be doubling them. The back tire, I think, is okay. I know it's doubled. I think it just ran out of air. This car's sat for almost 2 years now. We're going to maybe push the back end down a bit on the hoist, suck the threaded rod tight because it's getting a little bit loose. It needs a new starter because the starter in it's pretty much burned out. Yeah, that threaded rod's just a little bit loose. Put a little bit of effort into it, but maybe I might hook a come along from frame rail to frame rail because you can kind of see this driver rails kind of going out just a bit. So we'll maybe try to pull that back, make visibility a little bit better, and pretty much just go from there. The front end is where I think the most work is going to be, and I've already done a little bit of work to it, but not a whole lot. This is an 07 P71, so it actually has steel lower control arms. I flipped the ball joint. I put GM front spindles out of an 88 Cadillac inside of it. We're not known to be the most strongest, but they're working, and they're working good. We're going to do that. This side here has got a bent upper control arm, so I'm not sure if I'm going to try to order new 03 and newer Crown Vic control arms, or if I'm just going to try to put a different control arm into it or something. I'm not sure. We're going to have to play by ear with that. I'm probably going to try to build my own front struts to get the height I need out of the front of this. We're going to be cutting the front bumper off, maybe trying to find a new hood because this hood here has seen better days. New starter, maybe do a little bit of a tune-up on the motor, maybe some new plugs, new wires, that kind of fun stuff. and see if we can make this car into a great derby car again. I don't know. I think it's worth it. The car's still straight. After 4 or 5 years, the car is still straight. You don't see that with Toyotas. Alright, you see that with some Toyotas, but you really don't see that with derby cars around me. And honestly, I think the thing needs just a little bit of work. So we'll be doing just a little bit to it, getting it going, getting it ready to smash again. And I know that you guys have wanted to see this car for quite some time, because I get asked so much about it. So thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully that you guys will actually like the return of Burn Barrel, because I can't really call it Burn Barrel anymore, because the guy renamed it Meatloaf. So, Meatloaf is in the house, boys and girls. But, the return of Burn Barrel. I bet you guys have been waiting a long time for this. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm trying hard to bring you guys a lot of content. It's not easy with no demolition derbies coming on. But we'll see what 2020 holds for us. And I'm just honestly having fun working on cars, doing little renos to the house, that kind of stuff. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on Zach's Workshop.